My Love of Life Energy is a podcast created by Anna Scott. Anna knows that every human being sees life uniquely. In this podcast, she will talk to people and learn from them. These conversations are to shine the brilliance of each human being she speaks to. Join her. After each exploration, you will expand on your insights and see truth and beauty. Good morning and good afternoon, and welcome to my podcast, My Love of Life Energy. And today I'm again with my partner, Molly Lynch. Molly is my co-creator in Exquisite Being. And today we're going to explore the divinity and humanity. And with that, I want to welcome you, Molly.
Thanks, Anna. It's fun to be here again.
It's always fun to talk with you. So we just sat, and what Molly and I do in our process is that we sit down and we explore by ourselves in writing a topic, and then we come together and we share what we've seen. And today's topic is about the divinity and humanity. So I'm curious, what did you see?
Gosh, well, I was just sharing with you that it was more that this feeling that became more present within me, that there is a presence that I am in relationship with and listening with and to.
And when you feel that presence, I'm curious, what do you experience?
Well, it feels like my heart's expanding, and it feels like I can just hear a different voice coming through, or different words that maybe aren't the way that I would say something, but sort of like listening to a different voice, a different experience within myself. What about you?
I was surprised by it. So I didn't have sentences. I started to see colors. And when I started to look at humanity, I saw like pop rocks, those cute.
Oh, yeah. That was humanity.
But like the colors that we are inside of us. And underneath that, I saw this kind of a purple blue underneath that.
So that's when you were feeling
humanity and then divinity. Like that. And I saw, I felt like I was inside out. Like I'm humanity, I'm divinity, and it's like inside and out, like I could reverse it.
Yeah, right.
And
reverse it. Depending on where you were focused or your awareness, or what do you mean in that way?
It's almost like depending on where I look. That makes sense.
Does make sense. So where our attention is sometimes creates a different experience within our humanity, essentially.
Yeah, like I don't often look for my divinity. I'm more focused on my humanity.
Right.
It never occurs to me to look in that drawer of me or look for that part of me or explore that part.
Right. So exploring our divinity essentially means through our human awareness, ability to focus in a certain part of our self, perhaps, or what I don't, as I was writing too, I kept feeling like that it was as in like an infusion. Like as I wrote, I was like, I am not the writer. This is the experience of something that is moving through me, or that is coming from that part of me. And the only way I can say that part of me is in my human consciousness, right? Perceiving myself as separate from this quote unquote divinity or quote unquote humanity. But what we've been kind of looking at today was there is also this oneness that we can experience within ourselves. So as you were saying, you can reverse it. You can reverse it by awareness, consciousness, perhaps.
I don't know. I mean, this is what I'm beginning to have fun with is really looking to see what I see when I'm looking at something. Like I could feel all my habitual thoughts about humanity and all my habitual thoughts about divinity. And I looked like I had never seen it before. Like I could feel in my mind like a gentle curiosity, a softness. And so fresh things came out of it. Like I saw, those airball guns, like Nerf guns with the little ping pong balls.
Yeah. Yep.
I saw divinity just creating thing after thing after thing, and it shoots out and reloads and shoots out and reloads. And it's this eternal, like, I've never seen that before. I don't know if it means anything.
Right.
But I saw it.
Yeah. And the experience of that meant something, or you felt something in that experience.
It made me relax about life.
Oh.
Because I realized that all life is gets created and evolves and dies out and creates and evolves and dies out. And I thought about extinctions, and this is going to be so politically incorrect, I realize it. But I just wondered, well, maybe part of animals and parts of us have to become extinct so something new can come in.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'd never seen that. And in fact, when I'm saying this right now, I'm mortified that I'm saying it.
Well, I think you're speaking to something that is in the idea of consciousness about evolution, I mean, in the sense of a spiritual evolution, or what we might refer to as sort of the evolution, genetic evolution, as it were. I mean, I don't know if that's politically correct either, but I know we are both, looking at all sides.
It's funny when we're sitting here talking about this, Molly, what I can feel is love. Like that's the constant.
Right. I think that is the gentleness that we're speaking to. It's like when we take the time to just give our attention to something a little more sweet or a little more eloquent, like you'd said. It's so true that it invokes a relaxation where love lives. And I'm like sitting here, we're sitting on the couch, or it's cozy, and I kind of feel like we're just riding on a bus or something. It's like just having a chat, and to experience that there's a presence in that experience is what I call our connection to our individual divinity together, and our humanity of just having the question, and the mystery is present.
We've made, I don't know if we've created, or what's the right word, in our exquisite being and the harmonic relationships. We've said one of the pillars is recognizing the divinity and humanity. And that's why we're having this conversation. And I'm curious, how do you see recognizing divinity in your humanity? Why is it useful? Like, so what?
Right. So what? But really,
like, why does this matter?
So?
Like, so what?
What's so? And I think what's so is that we do live in a mystery, and anybody that says that we don't is crazy, because nobody knows. But that's the beauty of it. So we get to experience this sort of, what I'm just going to translate is like, if in the nicest way, it's like, oh my gosh, wow, what is this life? It's beautiful. There's something, so the magic starts to surface. So the divinity, and the reason that it feels important to be in awe of the mystery, which would be translated as the divinity of things too. It's like, wow, we get to experience ourselves in the mystery and in the unfolding of the creativity of our lives.
And how does it help you, like, what's the word? By recognizing that, how does it help you with your relationship with yourself and your partner?
Oh, well, another pillar of the exquisite being, harmonic relationships, is to honor one another and honor the self, honor the other. And if it is love that's present, then she is love, then I am love, then you are love. So how do we honor? And the only way is through this love, which to me then is the divinity, because there's a humility in not knowing.
For me, seeing the divinity in my humanity, but accepting my humanity has allowed me to be gentler with myself.
Yeah.
And more forgiving.
Yeah.
Until I'm not. But then it allows me to be more tender and forgiving with the people that I'm in relationship with, to have grace with them, to not, not that I do this all the time. I'm just saying my batting average has gone up. With strangers, it's really easy.
Yeah.
I can give them so much grace. I'm not triggered. Or maybe a little bit, but not like people not showing up, people canceling. Like, I just have grace. I'm like, we're human beings. We're all struggling. We're all doing our best.
Yeah. Got it.
And we aspire to something greater in us. And I think it's allowed me to recognize when I'm challenged in a relationship that, oh, we're evolving together. We don't have to get freaked out. Like last night, David and I had a challenge. And before it would throw me. And now I'm like, oh no, we're evolving. We're here to see something new. We're getting closer to the divinity, the pure love. And this is the thing that's getting in the way of it. This misunderstanding.
Right. Yeah, so grace.
With myself and others. The other thing I'd like to say about this in relationship is that this is one of the things that I can feel I stand by this 100%. And it's in the 18th gene key. I don't know the exact page. But every human being that comes into me that I'm challenged by, they're my mirror. They're here to reflect back to me part of myself that I have rejected or that I haven't owned. And that's the perfection.
Right.
Is that they're just showing me a part of myself.
Right.
Like they would become an angel in my life to wake me up.
Right.
To that love and forgiveness. Oh.
Right. So they show you your humanity and you get to receive your divinity into your humanity.
Yeah.
So you offer the own grace into yourself.
Yes. Oh, that's beautiful.
I just saw the fox run by. we've had the Snow White wild animal experience today. But back to that, there's something about what you're sharing as far as the grace, and that there's always this invitation to yield to it. We were talking about flow earlier. There are these channels, and we get to get in our canoe and get in them, these flows we get to choose, and that the choice also is not to then be the victim to the external circumstance. And humanity loves to go external, a lot of humanity, and that's what's gotten us in so much trouble. So it's not and that's another conversation, but it's a reminder.
What you said about the grace of our humanity. When I feel into that grace, it is the most delicious feeling. It's like I feel like I'm wearing a velvet robe, cloaked in a velvet robe of love.
Oh, that's nice.
And the more I give that to myself, the more I can give that to others. And to see their innocence.
Right. So when do you most feel that grace experience? Like, is there an environment? Is it, do you have noticing where it shows up, let's say?
I know that I can feel my tempo right now, the cadence of my voice. And I can feel that when I slow down, and I'm kind of like known as the Energizer Bunny, so it's really also a bull in a china shop.
That's a visual.
I know, those two. And when I do, I feel the softness. I feel this tenderness, and I think that that's where the grace lives in. It's also the curiosity which we spoke about, but it lives more in this pace.
So you're slowed down to feel it, that it's there. It's always cloaked around you, or it has you.
Oh God, what you just said, it's always here.
Right.
What do you know? When do you notice it?
Well, I just keep hearing inside of myself I guess it is the 22nd gene key. That is grace, as acidic frequency. But that Richard Rudd, I think I was listening to it not too long ago, and he said you can't manufacture grace to happen. It happens. Like, it happens when it happens. Like forgiveness, you can't force yourself to forgive. Forgiveness is something that is sort of a receptive state, and so is grace. There's a receptivity, and we've been also speaking to that today. But how do we receive? We open, and slowing down. It's like what you're sharing is saying to me, that when we slow down, we relax and open, and we get to feel what is already present, which is grace.
That's like if I had a highlight for a conversation, like if this, I don't know, I just saw a highlighter.
Yeah, which color was it?
It was hot pink.
Oh, what?
But what I saw was that's it. When I slow down, and I become present, this grace is a frequency that already exists. I don't have to manufacture it.
So,
like that's how beautiful life is. It built this in.
It is life.
Oh, wow. Say more.
Grace is life. There's the flow. Grace is divinity, is life, is divinity, is life, is grace. It's so present. And it's presence itself, perhaps.
We have talked about bringing our work into companies and creating harmonic cultures.
Yeah.
And I just see the productivity. I don't know if you see it, how productive people Like we live in such a fast-paced world.
Yep. Hurry up and produce.
And the suffering and the struggling.
Yes. So the hurry.
But I feel like how scared people get at work.
Mm.
And then they work out of this fear.
Mm-hmm.
And yet underneath all that, it's like I used to have dreams of, I live in a really small house and we had a big family, big people, big family. And I would always dream of finding this spare room that I didn't know existed. Like that was my dream.
Oh, that's a huge dream in that situation.
But what I feel like is that this is the secret room that is there.
Yeah, I love that metaphor, or the actuality of it.
That when we slow down, that there's this grace and forgiveness and innocence and infinite creativity.
Yeah.
That would help teams fuel their work.
Yes. Well, I won't forget that when we were doing our work at LAX, and how the start of the meeting, the start of the workshop was one energy. And by the end, it really felt like it did shift from sort of a stressful, closed constriction to this open receptivity. And that was such a part of being, just noticing how fast we are moving. In the group, I think there was something that was about that. And as we slowed down together, where they were in themselves and could move from.
Yeah. It was beautiful. I mean, we talk about bringing universal love, but that's that grace, or that's that divinity into companies.
Yeah. So the harmonic relationship is created from slowing down enough to be present with another and listen. And this is the thread we're kind of working through this week, is listening and being in touch with our divinity through our humanity, but we have the gift of listening to each other.
And the other thing I want to say about this, what I'm seeing is in my divinity and humanity, and Richard talked about this in the 22nd gene key, which I loved. It's to accept it all, feel everything that I feel.
Right.
So today I came and bared my soul about how afraid I am.
Yeah.
And I felt it all. And that's my divinity. That we feel all of it. And there's nothing wrong.
Wow. Yeah.
And when I can feel it all inside myself, then I can do that with another person.
Right.
Just as they are.
Right. You accept yourself just exactly where you are, and it allows the space for you to accept others just exactly as they are, in their divinity, through their humanity.
Yeah.
And you get to witness and love them and have that empathy.
And what I see happens is, if I'm not trying to fix people, their own wisdom kicks on.
Yes.
And the better idea comes.
Right. It's already within them. And that's the other part of trusting the divinity, because what you're sharing is about wisdom being something that is accessible within.
Yeah. This is all in us. Or it's like Cracker Jacks. You know how you got the prize.
We got
in the
Pop-Tarts, we got Cracker Jacks, we have fluorescent pink highlighters. No, but what was it? Cracker Jacks?
Oh my God. Okay. Well, I think we have done divinity and humanity today.
I thought you were going to talk about the pot with the Cracker Jacks real quick.
Oh no. Well, we are the prize.
Oh, the prize. Oh, I love that. The prize. And the Cracker Jacks are good. Like, they taste good. And you get a prize.
Yeah, like we're the prize. I don't know which way, but like our divinity, we're in the box.
I love that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I always love talking with you.
Oh my God, it's so much fun.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you.